But speaking of the Suns, there's a commission meeting later on in August. A lot of work's been done on the trade package, or the assistance package, I'm told, and a lot more work to be done. It then has got to go, I assume, to the clubs, and they've got to tick off it, and finally the commission's got to tick off on it. And it is quite amazing as to the depth and the breadth of possible suggestions. I mean, as far as salary cap, extra salary cap, as far as extra trade bait points that they could trade away, they need a hell of a lot more than what has been suggested. But I thought you came up with a really interesting idea this morning, Gary, about some senior players. And Brownie, you were very keen on this.
Well, it's a crack at getting right what they didn't get right initially, essentially, and that is get the absolute best A-grade citizens into your team and help set culture and help set up players. And could you imagine Jack Lukosius and Ben... Is it Ben King up there? I keep forgetting. Ben King.
Yeah.
If Dale Morris was there, if Sean Burgoyne walks into the club, if David Mundy says, yeah, I'll go and put my flag in the ground there for... Those players would be doing the competition, you know, a good... Trying to... It would be their legacy to the competition to say we helped solidify it. I mean, Brownie, for 2 years, given the soft salary cap relief, I don't care what it is, keep them outside the salary cap. But if you've got 4 of those players into that club from October 16 when they came back for pre-season, and Jack Lukosius walked in and said, right, there's your man, which you said, Ruzi, Sean Burgoyne's going to look after you, Jack, for the whole pre-season, then his chances of staying that club are infinitely higher than not.
You've got to build that culture you speak about, and to have 3 or 4 experienced guys come in would be just outstanding for culture and help to build their roots, I suppose. But you know, it seems like a no-brainer. The AFL could go to some of these experienced guys and say, hey boys, we're going to give you 3-4 years, and we're going to use it. You can use it as an apprenticeship for yourselves in life. You may have an interest in coaching, list management, development. There's academies up, all these sort of things. So we're going to help develop you as an individual through the club and post-football, but also we think you can still contribute on the field. Now, whether that's 10, 12 games, 18 games a year, you can play NEFL, but the value behind the scenes and the training, Rosie, with working with these younger players.
Oh, it was huge. I mean, getting to Melbourne, the first conversation I had was with Daniel Cross, you know, who'd been delisted by the Bulldogs. You know, you have to build your club around those guys. It was so pleasing when he came. Bernie Vince was a little bit younger than those guys, but getting Bernie Vince from Adelaide Footy Club was enormous. And your point is right. We're not suggesting that all those guys could play, but what we're saying is litter them around the club, build your club around it. And there's some good people up there, to be honest. So there's some good assistant coaches already.
And it would help them.
And it would benefit everyone, not just the players themselves. They need to build... You know, we heard Rhys Shaw talk about the shin boner and relate to the Bloods culture. I'm sure, Brownie, when you were there, something like that, something tangible for Lukosius and Rankin and King to say, ring their mates and say, you've got to get up here. There's something special happening up here with these guys.
That's going to be interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how much guts that the AFL Commission have. I mean, they should be taking on the Players Association. There's no point giving you a priority pick or extra draft picks if you're not committed for 4 years at the bottom level, because if kids are walking out after 2 years, doesn't matter who you put up there, they're not going to stick around.
Do you think they're realistic about that?
I've got no idea, Brown, and I'll wait with great interest to see if they will right the wrongs of the past.